The rise of Africa, the continent, the diaspora, and BRICS explores the relationships that are affecting the global economy right now. This book explores the relationships of the African diaspora's influence on the African continent and why this is important in stabilizing relationships with an understanding of how BRICS impacts the future, good or bad. You can order your copy of The Rise of Africa today on Amazon.com.
Neo-diplomacy is the new currency. Neo-diplomacy is the new currency. The reason that I can say that is you have a couple of different factors occurring right now as we speak on the world stage. The dollar is being disrupted. Nations are no longer wanting to engage with the United States. But the third factor that affects each and every one of us is that there is a diaspora from the African continent that's willing and able to engage our brothers and sisters on the continent.
Hey, monkey boy, this time I can prove the Israelites weren't black using ChatGPT. Ha!
So that's what we're doing now? Using AI?
What was that? I couldn't hear you over that smoke alarm chirp you people can't hear. Say that again?
Hilarious and original.
Hilarious and original. Hilarious and original. Hilarious and original.
I said, is that what we're doing now? Using AI to prove who the Israelites are?
That's exactly what we're doing, and I'll show you, boy.
Oh, brother.
2 hours later.
Your room still stinks.
Look at how easily ChatGPT debunks everything you chimps have to say. Ha! You was not kings, and you was not Israelites.
If we're going to use AI, then let's at least use an AI that's trained on the Bible without the Masoretic mistranslations or any agendas and actually tells us the truth.
Liar, there's no such thing.
I'll show you. Let's use Israelite Bot. Go to IsraeliteBot.com and ask the same thing.
Fine, but I bet it'll say the same thing as ChatGPT. No! No!
You see? I told you.
No!
And it shows biblical proof.
No! This is preposterous. I hate this website. It's all wrong.
Stop crying.
Your website sucks.
All right. Shalom, salama, Thiemi, shalom. Greetings to all my Israelite brothers and sisters from around the world, whether you're the bloodline of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the house of Israel, or you're a Gentile grafted into the house under the blood of Yahushua HaMashiach. I welcome you this morning. All righty. So, sorry, my apologies for coming through a little later. It's been a struggle literally this last 2 weeks. Oh my goodness. For literally 9 days, it has been an absolute struggle. First, my voice was struggling, and now I'm struggling with some internal issues. Now, I thank the Most High that I was able to get at least a good 6 hours of sleep, because I got things ready for work. I hit my bed. I crashed at about 8:45, 9 o'clock. And then the issue started. And, it's yesterday I was dealing, yeah, both ends. That's all I got to say, both ends. I'm surprised that I'm even able to come online here. So then when I was at school yesterday, they're like, yeah, a lot of people have been getting sick. A lot of people have been doing this. I didn't know. Look, I know that I ate a salad. It was a prepackaged salad. And Sister Fate was like, "No, don't eat those. You got to make sure that you get the fresh salad to make your own, because that sucker will get you sick." She said that about a month ago. I did not heed her warning, and I'm still dealing with those consequences. And it's really and also the consequences did it was that being sick last week, my voice is still getting there. It's slowly but surely. I have to just take a day or two to rest. And I'm contemplating that even in the midst of this medical container campaign, to literally to rest my voice as best as I can. And to give my body just a little bit of rest as much as I can, because if not, yeah, I am running myself and wearing myself ragged. So I pray that you all could tarry with me while I may take the rest of the week off. But while I was thinking about that and contemplating that, when I went home to grab what I'm on right now, just had to retake it. Activated charcoal. Excuse me, had to get this tea. The activated charcoal. And I bought the activated charcoal last year when Brother Garth and I had embarked on the mission to Burkina Faso. And that's what it was. It was a mission. We engaged in diplomacy. And in our diplomatic engagement, we were able to procure a letter of favorability to ship a medical container. See, they don't want to have just medical containers from anyone, because that's where they get burned. They get burned where the medical container is on the port. They still have to ship it. In different parts of the world, they still have to clear it. But with 50,000, that provides a solution of bringing that container to Ghana, to Tima. And then we're able to coordinate for the rest of the travel over to Burkina Faso. Now, in the course of a year, you had Nana or Kofu, I believe, the former president, and now you have Mahama, the current president, and their attitudes are much different in terms of their help of one another. There's more cooperation. So when people say, well, what are you going to do when you get on over there? What's the intent? Look, the intent was always the same. I'm going to tell you the intent was to help deliver on their projects. All this is a gift. It's an offering. So people can see that we were able to muster up a gift. Man, we can, in parts of our community and outside of our community, we'll muster up hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars for nonsense. Nonsense. Because quite frankly, our people don't, not to say you all, but just our people in general, they don't know how to respond. To seeing things that's happening in front of their own eyes. A lot of people are literally stuck like deer in the headlights. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Hey, let's get this container. And that opens up the doors. Because pretty soon, I don't know if you all realize this, but a lot of people probably at the end of this month are going to be looking for work. And guess what they will do? They go to where the jobs are at. They go to where they're needed. And look at what we have available to us. Look at what we have available literally to us. And the interesting thing about this time is that we are not allowed to be comfortable. We're being forced out of our comfort zone. And when you get forced out of your comfort zone, guess what? You're going to have to start to react. You had the 10 that had been healed by Yahusha. Only one came back. But what did they do? They went to see him. You had the woman with the issue of blood. She went out to do what? To grab the robe of Yahusha. These are all choices. What the Most High will do will give you the opportunity to enable you to succeed. Eurocentric Christianity has told you just sit there and it will come right to your lap. That is a lie. How many scriptures? How many verses? What's our blessing of Judah? That the work of our hands aren't slack. That we come to our people. That even when we put our mind to getting something done, He's a help to us even when our enemies are trying to derail us. It was funny because when I came on here, I was going to talk about Trump's, debacle. But really, the most pressing thing about seeing Trump's debacle, their king, not their president, their king, said, I want to kind of share with you this. This is a stock market. This is a stock market. See how it started at that day? Closed at 37 on the 7th. And then it opened up here at 38. And then it got all the way up here at its highest peak, 39406. That was its high. Now, how did it go from here to here? How did it swing from 37,882 all the way up to 39,310? How did it have a 1,500 point swing? Well, simple. It had a swing because Trump lied. On a comment that he had stated that China wants to make a deal. China wants to make a deal. And it was funny because it was at this time I was driving home to get the activated charcoal, and I'm looking at JLR Investigates. He'll come on live, and it was in my feed as folks were looking, and people are getting excited. They're getting excited. Trump says that China's that they wanna make a deal. And then I had to laugh. I said, yeah, it was a 1,500 swing. I said, based on a lie. But people are indulging in it. And do you know that by the end of the afternoon, it plunged all the way down to here from 39,946 to the low of 37,103. A 2,000 point swing. Look at that, 2,000 point swing. And then they tried to bring it back up again. About 500 points. With more lies. You know, the funny thing is, it took me a little bit of time to find that. Because it was here. Only Al Jazeera had captured that article, had captured that. Oh, they were trying their best to scrub. Well, it wasn't a lie like that. I mean, his intent and had to backtrack. They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. A growing trade war. Trump says China wants to make a deal, but top U.S. trade officials suggest Beijing has not sought talks with Washington as deadline for additional tariffs looms. So basically, he lied. They want to make a deal. Why? On what? On what premise? You see how they have the Al Jazeera staff? They're not trying to name folks because they're not trying to get messed up as journalists. With the clock ticking for additional United States tariffs to be placed on goods from China, President Donald Trump said he is waiting for a call from Beijing to defuse a trade war. He added many other countries want to open economic negotiations. China also wants to make a deal badly, but they don't know how to get it started. We are waiting for their call. What I thought I heard, however, hours later, he said, we are waiting for their call. It will happen. However, hours later, a senior Trump aide cast doubt over Beijing's willingness to negotiate a solution for tit-for-tat tariffs, suggesting that a breakthrough is unlikely in the coming days. They, China, elected to announce retaliation, U.S. Trade Representative Jamieson Greer said at a committee hearing on Tuesday. Other countries did not. Other countries signaled that they'd like to find a path. Blah, 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 blah. China has not said that. We will see where that goes. China is 10 toes deep. That brought me to this scripture. Thessalonians, 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. Now we beseech you, brethren, by the coming of our Elohim Yahushua HaMashiach, and by our gathering unto him, that ye be not soon shaken in mind, or be troubled, neither by spirit, nor by word, nor by letter, as from us, as that the day of Hamashiach is at hand. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, which is, yeah, we understand that. And that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called Elohim, or that is worshipped, so that he as Elohim sitteth in the temple of Elohim, showing himself that he is Elohim. Remember ye not when I was with you, I told you these things, for now you know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time. In his time. There's always a person that reveals themselves like that in their time. Now we're just in a time where we have someone like this. Second Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 6. And now you know, excuse me, let me get to 7. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who knoweth, letteth, will let until he be taken out of the way. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord, or whom Yahuwah, shall consume with the spirit of his mouth and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. We've seen this from generation to generation to generation. Now, in this time frame, understand our captivity and our end of captivity. This is a culmination of the generations that has come to this time, that has come to this season. Yes, the Old and New Testament, they work together if you don't have a Eurocentric view to it. Which is what we've been conditioned in this lie, because that's how we've had to survive in this lie. Well, let me share this. Thought I was sharing this. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. We see that today. We'll start to look. We know when things are going to start getting bad, when them UFOs are going to start coming. I would say we probably going to start seeing the UFOs probably in another maybe couple weeks. I'm going to say a couple weeks. Don't worry why you're getting poor. There's UFOs. And with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they received not the love of truth, that they might be saved. Isn't that what we get? We're racist, we're this, we're that, because they didn't want to understand the truth. Now, all of a sudden, now they have to have that conversation. And they're having those conversations on TikTok, and these other channels on YouTube are literally playing those conversations. Now, all of a sudden, man, we got to talk. Because why? Because their livelihood is in jeopardy. They're imperiled. Exactly. Exactly, Sister Bonnie. Yeah, Trump says many countries are calling to negotiate tariffs. I believe that is also a lie. As of midnight, Trump has increased the tariffs against China to over 100%. Well, the question has always remained, what are we going to do about it? Has the Most High not already given us ideas and witty inventions? Has the Most High not already allowed us to use our hands? Has the Most High not already directed our paths? Has the Most High not already given us relationships to utilize, to people to talk to, resources that we can employ? If we come together and we work together as a people, getting out of this captivity was not an individual effort. It was not an individual sport. This is always going to be a team sport. Second Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 11. And for this cause, Yahuwah shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe in a lie, that they all might be damned who believeth not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. And I'll let you read the rest of that scripture. That's Second Thessalonians chapter 2. These folks wanted to believe the lie so much You realize that whenever they believe that lie, this isn't us spending money. This isn't us spending money right here. That's them spending money. And then they realize that, at 39,406, we're spending all this money. Is China actually doing what Trump says they're going to do? Oh, he's not. Oh, this person's testifying. Oh. And it goes down and down and down. Because they wanted to believe the lie. And yeah, it's going to go down even worse. I don't want to speak ill will or negative, but I have to speak reality. There's going to be a lot of people losing their jobs by the end of this week. There's going to be a lot of people losing their jobs by the end of this month. See, understand this economic slowdown is going to hurt. And it's going to hurt them. And when it hurts them, they'll realize that they won't have any recourse to go anywhere else. Nobody wants to hire them. For what? Oh, you're an American? Oh, you're trying to escape? Y'all don't even realize economic refugees. Start learning that in your vocabulary. Because that's what's coming. And then systematically, as people are trying to leave, guess what they're going to start to do? They're going to start to go into these other countries and they're going to start to be the victims. The victimizer is going to start to become the victim. How come the embassy doesn't look out for me? How come the embassy isn't helping me? How come the embassy? Saying layoffs on Thursday. Yeah, that's what's getting ready to happen. Layoffs on Thursdays. Shoot, probably bank runs by Friday. Would not be surprised. No, we have an opportunity. We have a unique opportunity. And not many people could say that they have this opportunity. It's a unique one. To send a medical supply container, honestly, while we can still send it. while we could still send it. We've had over 101 donations. We need 50,000 to get the container on the water. We're at 13,000. Yes, we're going to need some supernatural intervention. Absolutely. So we can have this container on the port by the end of this month. In order to do so, it takes about 15 or it's about 14 days. Because you have to book space on the ship. And now remember, as these ships are going out, a lot of these ships aren't coming back in. Tariffs. This is to get a 40-foot medical supply container over to the continent. And I believe that we can get the funds raised by April 15th. I'm giving you the timeline. It's April 15th. 15 days from there, the container is at the dock and being loaded within 2 to 3 days. 60 to 75 days from there, the container's in Tema, Ghana. And then about 15 to 20 days from there, the container is in Burkina Faso. See, understand, diplomacy leads to jobs. If you didn't know what diplomacy actually spelled, and a lot of people may not know that, they may not understand that. You don't get these contracts overseas just because. No, there's a diplomatic effort to do so. Excuse me. Diplomacy is literally what creates jobs. Well, what's toxic about AED devices? What's toxic about saline bags? What's toxic about EKG machines? And that's what gets us through the door. Because the plan is to then manufacture those medical supplies over on the continent. You're not bringing over any of the lollipops or any of that nonsense. But hospital beds, gowns, and that person may be a troll because why? Because they understand what the season is. And if we weren't doing a good job, guess what? Trolls wouldn't be showing up. That means we're effective. Again, there's 178 people in the chat. That's 100. Those are relationships, communication channels. That's your voice. And people need to hear some truth when literally all they're hearing is lies all the way to their destruction. Exactly. Exactly. Same folks that demonize the technology are using it to troll. Exactly. We're not sending over used clothes. We're not sending over crappy items. But yes, the need for syringes, yeah, that's still needed to draw blood, to provide IVs, so people can actually live. Yes, these diplomatic missions, they provide gifts. Those gifts provide favorability. That favorability provides for resources. Because if you can provide a gift, what else can you provide? What knowledge do you have? What skill sets do you have? What understanding do you have? How can you organize? How can you deliver? They don't want us doing this. It's that simple. They want us just to take a look and be involved in the nonsense of when they will begin to starve. And in case you didn't know, that's not our portion because we serve an awesome Elohim and his name is Yahuwah. And we're covered under the blood of his son, Yahusha HaMashiach. The Most High's already been figured this on out. All we have to do is step out on faith and move in faith and move in power. I don't know. I don't know. You all may not be able to make the donation, but guess what? Your voice does a lot. It amplifies. It mobilizes. If you didn't know how powerful your voice was, go take a look at the hands-off protest. That hands-off protest was so weak, they didn't even want to show it. Because why? Because it's always about our voice. Funny how they always try to say, "Oh, America wasn't built on you all," but they need us for everything. And then when they accomplish what they accomplished, and they get rid of us. They've been running the same play since 1619 because it is our voice. It has always been about our voice. So, yes, family, this container, this isn't Israelite or Hebrew specific. This is our people specific. If all you want to do is be entertained here behind the scenes, then that's the question you have between you and the Most High. Plain and simple. But we got work to do. And I'm trying to tell you this. You're seeing it. I'm trying to explain to you all what those tariffs mean. If ships don't come in, ships don't go out. And that's the slow decline of economic supply. And if you need the Most High to help you with wisdom, then pray about it. I don't believe, Brother Karras. Cool. That's fine. I'm not asking for your acceptance. I'm asking for your support. Because this doesn't just affect Brother Karras. This affects our community. This affects our family. This affects our children, our grandchildren. What do you think these tariffs are going to do to this country? A country that's already dying. It's designed to implode this country where we suffer first. The usual roadmap. We suffer. We get an idea, and then they're able to sell the idea. But I say that that's not happening, not this age. I believe that that age has long gone. It's long passed by for them. So I have that in the chat. Please share that with your friends, your family, co-workers. Please share. So with that said, Most High willing, I'll see how my voice responds. If I get better, then that's fine. If I'm still kind of the same, then I'm gonna have to consider taking a few days off, which I really don't want to, especially in the midst of this campaign. But yes, family, understand that the folks, they love the lie, and guess what? They want to drag you in this lie because they know they're going to be destroyed So they want to destroy you along with them. We serve an awesome Elohim, and we rebuke every plan that the enemy has for us in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. That's it. And we thank the Most High for getting this goal together in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. So with that said, family, I'm on out of here. You all have a blessed and highly favored day, being covered under the blood of Yahushua HaMashiach. So with that said, family, shalom, salama, siyemi, shalom, peace and blessings. Yasharel.